Well, for those of you who were here for the first session, I apologise, but I've got to go back through some of the things again. Housekeeping stuff, in the case of fire, etc., there's only one exit, so follow the staff. Toilets are behind you. Anything else, just ask one of our staff. There's some gluten-free and vegetarian options for lunch coming up. Please avail yourself of those. I'm going to go through some of the bit of a background of DMS and the purpose of this briefing and why we're doing it. We've got a 30-year history, just coming up to 30 years for DMS. And for about 20 years of those, we've been developing the Mailman platform in the not-for-profit space. This year marks one of the biggest development programs we've ever had. And with the now us having this great new space where we can actually bring our clients into a room and get everybody to meet and greet, we're taking that opportunity, and we're hoping to do this on a semi-regular basis, possibly once a year or every 6 months. This particular briefing, I think, was important because of the huge amounts of changes coming in the next release. But I also, we're taking this opportunity to go back through other features that were already in the software that not everybody is aware of. Plus, it's a great opportunity for everybody to meet and greet from other organisations. Half of you know each other. We're aware of that. It's a small community in Queensland, but and unfortunately, some of our other clients, we've got clients in WA, in South Australia, others in Sydney and so forth, aren't able to make it. Marta will have some, actually, were the Marta Beach festivals here for this session, or just the last one?
Definitely the last one.
Definitely the last one, okay. We were going to have about 10 people from Marta, but at the last minute, their management decided there's got to be somebody to run the fundraising department. So, but I expect that in the next time we have one of these, we'll have a number of Marta people here. In this room, we probably have, I mean, we've got more fundraising power, I think, in this room than at most of the FIA brunches I've been to. So, very pleased that you could all come and join us. Okay. One of the things I want to go back through is the release schedule. So if we bring up that. So here we go. Okay. Most of you are running the 2016 Q3 release. And we are about to make available in the next few weeks a special 2016 Q4 release. This will have primarily just a few bug fixes. There will be no database changes from the Q3 release. But the key thing is MasterCard are now offering, giving people cards starting with the number 2, which our card validation routine don't accept. So we've got to get that out into the marketplace for our clients so you can start processing those cards. If you, you all are running our web infrastructure as well, and that will need to be adjusted as well. So we'll be contacting you going through what needs to be done there. But this December release is going to be a fairly minor release, primarily just to address a few urgent issues and this MasterCard thing. The big move is this 2017 Q1 release. We're aiming for March or April next year. And this is going to have some of the biggest changes we've ever implemented in Mailman, some of which we'll be going through in this session, particularly regarding the payment processing. But the changes are wide-ranging, so they cover almost every aspect of the system. A lot of our key processing screens, like the donation entry screen, the Art Union entry screen, and so forth, every one of those screens is being reworked, and in most cases we will have 2 variations. One variation is for those who have moved to the new tokenization structure, which I'll go through shortly, and the other is for people who have stayed with existing payment gateways and still want to continue with those processes. What we've done is we've gone through and reviewed and tidied up the code on those screens. We've removed some of the legacy stuff that hasn't been used for some time. We've simplified things that should make the internal management easier for us. But outwardly, functionality-wise, not a lot of changes there. So there won't be a lot of change if you don't wish to take advantage of some of the new features. So to some of the other features in contact selections, in the ops area, and in other areas, you will have the option of moving to those new capabilities as your organization is ready for them. Okay. In order to help our clients understand our products and make the most out of them, in addition to running the briefing sessions, I want to remind you, first of all, that our support site has all of the training manuals for the Mailman software. You want to skip across that? So if you haven't been to the VMS and our support site, go have a look. Down the bottom, you do have to register in order to gain access to it because it contains all of our internal resources. But once you log in, you've got access to all of the training manuals and documentation available for Mailman, all of the latest versions. And there will be new versions released for the new versions of the software, of course. In addition to that, we're making available a whole series of new videos. So there's a new videos tab here. It's broken up into 3 sections. We have a latest videos that covers obviously the new things that we have posted. We have Mailman specific videos, and then we have generic fundraising technology videos. So a year or 2 ago, we actually launched a separate website called Fundraising Tech Made Simple, where we identified that a lot of people in the fundraising industry, not just our clients, but across the board, didn't understand things like security certificates and responsive design and stuff like that. So we developed a series of these videos to understand to explain these types of technologies, and we'll continue to do that. And we will also continue to create a series of Mailman specific videos. So we're going to be doing more and more of these videos because the feedback we're getting is most of you prefer to watch a 15-minute video than read a 50-page manual. So if we go up the top, please, so some of the key ones here are things like using BPay codes for processing, the new contact selections process, which we'll be going through in the last session today, what a supporter portal is and stuff like that. Again, most of you guys are pretty much up to speed with that sort of stuff, but not everybody is. And I'm also aware that a lot of you do a great job in bringing new young fundraisers into the industry. This is a great way of introducing them to some of these technology challenges as well. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at some of the new support that we've got in BPay and e-wallets. So let's go back to the moment. So as per the previous session, the changes that we are making at the moment, we're demonstrating in the donation entry form, but they will apply the same to all entry forms in Mailman. There's actually about 15 screens that we have to repeat this process in. So the key thing, first of all, you might notice it's a bit larger. We've always been constrained by the minimum screen size of our clients, and some of them have been running old VGA screens on Windows 95, stuff like that. So we've been really slow to expand those screen sizes, but we think it's time that we can do that now. We have made some other changes in areas like, for example, activity codes, and now it can be 20 characters in length and stuff like that. But the key thing that we're going to get into in this session is the payment processing. So the first one's BPay and e-wallet. So as some of you know, or some of you are already using BPay and e-wallets such as PayPal and so forth. So we already have those capabilities. What we're doing in this new release is we're extending support on these areas so that your end-of-day reconciliation and so forth more clearly separates these payments compared to, say, pre-banked cash, okay, which is how they're handled currently. So if you have a BPay donation to process, you can select the BPay option. You create a batch that's pre-banked. You'll then have access to the BPay option, and you specify the amount. It's as simple as that, and it'll come through as a separate payment type in your end-of-day reporting. Okay. E-wallets. This is to cover areas. Now, there's a whole range of e-wallets. So PayPal is probably the most common example, but there's also Google Wallet and probably 50 or 60 others that are around. We've got a few clients using PayPal. I don't think at the moment others using other payment gateways, but the payment processing space is changing massively at the moment. Probably most of you will have heard or experienced things like Android Pay, Apple Pay, stuff like that. And customers are going to increasingly be requiring these sorts of facilities. So we've got to work with you guys, for example, at point of sale. Will your FPOS system support Touch and Go Pay methods? And will they support just the cards or the e-wallets as well? Those sorts of things. Now, e-wallet entries, you can't actually enter a transaction from an e-wallet in Mailman. They can only be done through either a website or through point of sale. But the option is here to show that when you edit or view a historical transaction, you'll see that they are an e-wallet transaction. Okay, we will be watching this area as the industry evolves to see what other changes we need to make as needed. So at the moment, we're not seeing a huge pressing need for this sort of capability. This sort of change is being made by us to make it a bit end of day a bit easier for some of our clients. It's not going to improve your ability to take these payments because you can already do that. It's just mainly about the end of day process. The big change, though, in this next release is support for credit card tokenization. Now, again, tokenization is a process whereby when a card is entered into a website or a form in Mailman, rather than storing the credit card number, we pass the credit card number to payment gateway, and the gateway returns to us a token which is unique for that card for your merchant account. And we store that and use that for the end of day clearance and standing orders and so forth instead. Now, this has huge ramifications in terms of security primarily. You're all aware of the security problems that people have had with databases being hacked, credit card details being stolen, etc. Some of you have even experienced people using stolen cards on your website to test them out and so forth. We'll get to that bit a bit later on. But credit card security is increasingly problematic. The banks and the merchants, the banks and the credit card clearing providers are getting more and more concerned about the levels of PCI DSS compliance and security that is put in place. If you tokenize your database and infrastructure and secure the front end of the websites, you've got 99% of PCI DSS covered. And that's the goal. Yep.
Is there a reason why the token can't be stolen And used by somebody else?
Yes, because the token is unique to the card and your merchant account.
So, okay, it's the merchant account.
So yes, so a token cannot be used on any other merchant account.
Okay. So if there's something happens with our merchant facility, we would need to get new tokens for every customer.
That's right. So, for example, when we migrating a client from one payment vendor to another, that's going to complicate things because most of the payment vendors are moving towards a process where they can, in the background, exchange, transfer some of this information and provide you with new tokens. Even if we've got credit card details in an account, we need to re-tokenize when we make that transition. So, for example, if MSQ moved to tokenization, you've got standing orders and pledges with credit card details encrypted in your database. When we make that transition, we need to have a process in the background that goes and tokenizes every one of those cards. We take the details, pass it to the clearance gateway, retrieve the token, and store the token instead of the card number.
Does it have to be during a transaction?
No.
During an actual...
no, this would, in the transfer, we would do that as a bulk process when we transition immediately. And so, saying, we'll go from having credit cards in your database in the morning to no credit cards in the afternoon.
You can't keep them for a draw just in case if you get wrong with the tokenization?
No, the idea, no, the token actually replaces the card numbers in the database.
But you can still view the first 6 months.
Yes.
Where is that stored?
That's in a tokens, a new tokens database or tokens table. Okay, so what does the process look like? So the first thing, you pay by credit card. Notice a couple of things. We've got no requirement for select a card type anymore. We've eliminated that. We can determine the card type based on the card number. So we've removed that field. We've also spoken to a number of the payment vendors, and of all the ones that we know we're going to tokenize for, they've come back and said we don't need the name on the card. So we removed that field as well.
They still need the CVC number, right?
They do need the CVC for certain types of transactions. Now, the CVC codes are a security mechanism for different particular types of channels. So certain types of transactions through certain channels will almost always require a CVC code. Other